Welcome to $5 Movie Bin, a series where I review movies that I found in the $5 movie bin at Walmart. Today, I'm talking about a movie released in 1985 called Legend. So I was at Walmart looking for a gift for my mom on her birthday, as any good son does. And like any normal person would, I stopped at the $5 movie bin to forage around a bit, see if I found anything good. And as soon as I saw this cover, I was hooked. I knew this is a masterpiece. Look at it. Tom Cruise is in it. Legend is a movie directed by Ridley Scott, who was pretty big at the time after making Blade Runner and Alien, and of course he also directed Gladiator later on. These are all amazing movies that I love, so of course I'd go into Legend thinking, this is probably going to be a masterpiece. I wonder why I've never heard of it. I mean, come on! Look at that cover! Wow! The movie starts off with a goblin guy getting told by an unseen villain that the unicorns are the one thing that pose a threat to him, or something like that. One thing about this movie is that the details of the plot are just kind of glossed over. You know, whatever. I like how creepy and straightforward this opening is, with the goblin speaking in rhymes and stuff.
Black as midnight, black as pitch.
It's very fairy tale-like, and I think if this was written nowadays, the tension would be ruined by the goblin saying something dumb like, "He's right behind me, isn't he?" We're then introduced to the princess, played by Ferris Bueller's girlfriend. At least, I think she's a princess. We don't really see a kingdom or any other royalty people. There's just some old lady who kind of acts like the princess's royalty and tells her that she shouldn't be among the poor folk. The princess wanders around the forest, and then she's startled by some scary sounds. All of a sudden, some homeless guy jumps out of a tree and surprises her, so she got out her pepper spray and sprayed him in the eyes. This homeless guy is Tom Cruise. I mean, Jack. Jack has this rare medical condition where he can only speak in a whisper.
I must be dreaming. I trust you, Lily. How'd you know my name? Sweeter than bee pollen.
Also, he wears a really short skirt type thing where you can see most of his legs. Skies out, thighs out, am I right? Tom Cruise tells the princess he has something to show her, so he leads her deep into the forest. Instead of running away from the psycho like she should, she just follows him. There they see some magical unicorns. The princess wants to go pet the unicorns, but Tom says,
Ellie, no. Please.
it's forbidden. I don't blame her. I would want to pet the unicorns too. But old Tommy Boy is just a fun hater. She doesn't listen to him because she's an independent woman who makes her own decisions. Yeah. Things are going pretty well, until the goblin shoots the unicorn and it runs away. Tom Cruise thinks it's her fault that she startled the unicorns, warning her that her immortal soul will regret it.
I don't care.
You risk your immortal soul talking like that.
Man, I thought this movie was made before Tom Cruise became a Scientologist. He's not mad for long, because then they start getting all lovey-dovey. He tells the princess that he wants to marry her, and she's like, whoever catches this ring will marry me. Then she just chucks it into the lake. Because Jack is a stupid idiot, he jumps in after it. Unfortunately, the goblins are still chasing the unicorn just as he does this. They capture the unicorn, which causes it to start snowing outside. Don't think too hard about the logistics of this. It's just magic. Tom Cruise almost dies from drowning because the lake froze over. Hopefully that never happens to him again. After he escapes, the princess goes off on her own to set things right, since she thinks it's her fault. But then she gets kidnapped by the bad guy played by Tim Curry. So Tom Cruise sets off on a quest to rescue her and the unicorn from this big horny guy. And that's how the movie starts. If you want to know what happens next, watch the movie. Legend is hilarious. Every time Tom Cruise is on screen jumping around in his little onesie, whispering every line of dialogue, I crack up. It's so goofy and dorky and over the top. But I've got to say, a lot of the performances are genuinely good. Tim Curry does a really good job at being the villain, and I like the part where he goes... Also, I like the way this kid talks.
If life is a dream, better you dread the waking.
And the way he makes really wide eyes. The movie is just genuinely very well made at times. The sets are really impressive and very detailed. I love the puppets and the costumes, and I really like the design of the big red horny guy. I love the way that everything is shiny and glittery. Just look at the way the camera captures the water. It's beautiful. I do wish that we would see more locations than just the forest and the villain's lair, because I really didn't buy into this being a whole world when we only see like a little bit of it. To be fair, I think the few sets used in this movie were super expensive and very hard to make. So they could only afford like 2 locations. I guess I don't blame them. Really, the only thing holding this back is just watch any line of dialogue.
Every wolf suffers fleas.
It's pretty funny. Legend is such an unremarkable name for a really bizarre movie. The whole thing just feels like a slightly strange, off-putting dream. What's happening is very simple and very vague on details. I wouldn't be surprised if Ridley Scott had a strange dream one night and was like, I'm gonna make that into a movie. While I don't think I can rightly call this movie good, it's definitely unique and definitely a lot of fun. I also recommend watching it the way Ridley Scott intended, at 1 a.m. while high on LSD. Or the director's cut, you know, that works too. So at the end of the day, is this movie worth buying for $5? Or if you're in another country, like £5 or something? I'd say, absolutely. Couldn't have spent my emergency savings on anything better. It gets the Elijah stamp of approval. So until next time, stay safe out there, kids. Don't go touching any forbidden unicorns. See you next time. Sir, what do you think of the movie Legend from 1985?
I think it's really cool.
Can you say that louder?